So I decided I wanted to make a calculator review slash how-to for those of you who are maybe newer to the calculator, as well as a quick JIT review for my algebra students on how to use the calculator for certain functions. So first things first, this is our home page, just the basics. Here's our home page. You get here by clicking right here. You can see what I've just clicked on by looking at what is in red up on the screen. So I've just clicked the home button and got to this screen. I never want you guys to use Scratchpad. I always want you to use Document. So anytime you want to calculate, graph something, anything like that, you want to open a new document. You can do that by either clicking on it or by pressing the number 1. When you open up a new document, you never want to save. So I'm always going to say don't save. And if I want to do something simple like 2 times 2, or if I want to solve an equation, I'm going to go to Add Calculator. So remember, you can solve an equation on Add Calculator by using nsolve. You can also just do simple things like 2 times 2, 1 divided by 2. If you want to change a fraction to a decimal, you can just do Control Enter and it'll change it for you. But when it comes to solving equations, that's when you want to do Menu, Algebra, or 3, and then Numerical Solve 1. So let's say the equation is 2x minus 3 equals 8x plus 2. Remember, you always want to put comma x before you hit enter and you get your answer. So most of you guys are pretty good at remembering how to use nsolve. You know it as menu 3-1. Just make sure you put comma and then whatever letter you are using in the equation afterwards. So that's about it for the calculator part. If I think of anything else during this recording, then I'll just go back to it. But for now, I'm going to go back home. We're going to create another new document, don't save, but this time we are going to add a graph. So if your equation that you are trying to graph starts with y equals f of x equals h of x equals anything normal, you can graph it right here. So let's do negative 3x plus 4. There's our graph right here. If you wanted to zoom out maybe, like let's say you wanted to see more of it, you go to Menu, Window Zoom, Zoom Out, and stick it in the center and click until you are at your desired view. So you hit Escape to get out of Zoom. And here you have your easy peasy way of seeing a function. I'm actually going to zoom back in because now we are going to look at, oh shoot, I did zoom out. My bad. Okay, so here we go. So let's say I wanted to know what the y-intercept is. You go to Menu, Analyze Graph. Wait, not y-intercept. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Why did I go here? Skirt! Back up. Hold on. I had a brain fart. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Okay, let's do a totally different one. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I wish I knew how to edit and I would edit that out. We're going to do a totally different one. To get to a new graph, you just hit Control Dock. It'll add page. And let's say this one is not a y equals f of x equals, okay? We want to graph it as a relation. And so Menu 3-2. You guys know Menu 3-2. You know it well. You're good at it. So let's say this is a system of equations. Remember, with systems, you have more than one. So if it was 4x minus y equals 2, that's the first one, okay? So I'm going to push the down button, all right? I'm pushing the down button so that I can graph another one. So say the other one is y equals negative 2x plus 2. Easy peasy, okay? There we have our system of equations, okay? If I want to see where their intersection is, okay, you go to Menu, Analyze Graph, and then Intersection. You know the lower bound always goes on the left, upper bound goes on the right. Here is your intersection. It shows you right here, okay? Now, let's say we have, I'm adding another document, a system of inequalities, and we want to know what is the solution set to that system of inequalities. So I'm going to go to menu, 3, 2, and I'm going to type in that system. So let me actually take one from your JIT review that we did in class together. It's going to be y greater than 3x plus 2. Down arrow because we want to do another one. This one is 2y minus 8 greater than or equal to x. So, ooh, pink, so pretty. So here we have our system of equations, or system of inequalities, graphed. This one has a dashed line. This is the one that did not have a line underneath the inequality symbol. This one is a solid line. This one did have a line underneath the inequality symbol. So remember, your solution is where the shaded areas are. Here you have your solution for the first one. Here you have the solution for the second one. The areas that are just pink or just gray are the areas that they don't overlap. However, the areas that are like darker right here where my mouse is, that is where the solution set would be. So on your answer choice, you're looking for the answer choice that has this shaded in, okay? That's what you're looking for when you're looking for the solution to 2 inequalities, okay? I almost said, does that make sense? As if you're in here. My bad. All right. So there's that one. That's what you're looking for with that. The last thing I'm going to do is going to be about quadratics. So I'm going to add a graph, and let's do x squared minus 3x plus 2. All right. So we want to analyze our graph. We want to find what's our vertex, what are our zeros, stuff like that. So first things first, let's look at our vertex. So you go to menu, just like anytime you want to find something. We're going to analyze our graph because that's what we're doing. And when we look back at our graph, it is a minimum. So we need to know whether it's a maximum or minimum. Remember, minimum is like bottom of the ocean. Maximum is top of the hill. This is the minimum, so I'm going to click minimum. You can see right here it's a minimum. Lower bound goes on the left, upper on the right. There's your vertex right there, 1.5 and then negative 0.25. There's our vertex. Now our zeros, remember those are our solutions, roots, x-intercepts, zeros. They're all the same things. So I'm going to go back to analyze graph, go to 0. For the first one, you start on the left and go to the middle. There's 1, 0. Okay, there is one of the zeros, which is 1, 0. You have to do it again because there's another 0 for this one. So analyze graph, 0, start in the middle, go over. Our second 0 is 2, 0. So I'm dragging these over. On my computer, I can just click and drag, but for you guys, you have to do Control, click to drag. So here's our zeros and our vertex. So I think that was all I wanted to show you. I should have wrote all of this down, but you guys know how I do. Oh, axis of symmetry. Let's do that one. Okay, remember axis of symmetry goes right down the middle of the parabola. So I'm just going to click and boom. Right here is my axis of symmetry. Let me move it over so you can see it. X equals 3 over 2. So the axis of symmetry goes right down the middle of the parabola. Very last thing I'm going to tell you about is when you want to create a table from a graph. That's when you want to go to menu, exactly what it says, table, then split screen table, and there you have your table that goes with your graph. So leave a comment down below if you have a question. That feels so silly saying that, but for real, leave a comment down below if you have a question. I'll be checking back and maybe I can make another one that is even more in depth or even more beginner. So yeah, I'm just gonna go right back home and bada bing, bada boom. We are done. Bye.